The state of play has come and gone, and with it, we have some news from what's coming for Sony PlayStation in the future. Obviously, last time we talked about PlayStation 5 Pro, how that was a little bit of a disappointment, but all that to be said, all of these games are pretty much all coming to PlayStation 2, so that's also great. PlayStation 5, so nothing to worry about. But the big, huge heavy hitter from this event was the new game from Sucker Punch, successor to Ghost of Tsushima, and that is Ghost of Yotei. And it is here, it is announced, and we have a new character named Atsu that we will play. We are not following Jin's story. We are going 300 some years in the future and following a new character, a new area in the northern parts of Japan. And I kind of want to talk about what we think of the game reveal and then what we hope to see in this game. And let's go from there. So I think, Jason, I want to start with you because you're a resident super fan of Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, we're all big fans, but not all of us have played it 10 times. So how do you feel about Ghost of Yotei?
At first, I was a little disappointed, right? Because I just beat the game again, and I wanted to see a continuation of Jin's story. But I'm not that disappointed because I know they're working a film currently for Ghost of Tsushima, which I have a feeling that's where we're going to get the rest of his story, possibly. And I think it's pretty much said and done with Jin on his morality of if he's ghost or if he's samurai. Because in the end, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
Right? So I think with this new character...
Spoilers.
Spoilers. I think with this new character, they can really work that into this game now. Because if it's a fresh character, we can get the morality system up, seeing what side she's falling on, and possibly have different outcomes or different endings to the game. Also, what I noticed, which I'm a little excited about, is that she's dual wielding 2 swords. Like, yeah, that's fucking dope, and I'm ready to see that. And they showed some more like weapons. They showed like a chain mace thing, which is cool looking, and she has a guitar instead of a flute. It looks like now. That'll be cool to mess around with. And then I'm really hoping this is a thing, but they keep showing this wolf over and over again. I feel like she's going to have an animal companion. Yeah, which I was hoping for in Ghost of Tsushima's new DLC, the Iki Island, because like the Mongolians had fucking animal companions. I was like, fuck, I don't want to kill this animal all the fucking time. I wish I had my own companion. So I'm super excited about it now, and once again, it could be just a spin-off of Ghost. You know, it's probably not a sequel. It could just be, hey, we have another Ghost game, but it's kind of tied in with Ghost of Tsushima, but just myths or tales, you know?
Is this just going to be a more graphic, awesome game than Outlaws? Female protagonist with a potential animal companion.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Probably. No, I think, I really think this game is going to be phenomenal, and it looks beautiful. I'm super stoked, super excited.
Sucker Punch, like even now, like I think I mentioned to y'all off the podcast last time that I started Ghost of Tsushima again on my 4K TV because at the time I didn't have the 4K TV, and I was playing it and I was like, God, even for how old this game is, it's not terribly old, but it's old enough. Like a PlayStation 4 game, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I really like Jin Sakai and where he goes. And yeah, you could make an argument that his story is done and it's over and he becomes a ghost and that's where it ends. But I felt like it's just a missed opportunity. Well, that game is so highly regarded. Yeah. Surely there's more to that story that you can come up with.
And like I said, they could either do a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima instead of like this being the sequel, and that's why it's called Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
They could do a sequel still, or they are going to do the movie and have that to be a continuation of the story.
Because, I mean, surely Jin gets people together and changes the way the samurai are forever as just like a thought of where they could go, you know? Like, he needs more ghosts, and you could even do, like, Assassin's Creed
2, Brotherhood.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
Have your own little Ronins with you.
Ooh.
Decided to be ghosts. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm titillated. Do we need to put that on the notes? No more titillation?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
But no, like, we know what Sucker Punch is going to put out. And Sucker Punch really hasn't came out with, like, a terrible game like Ubisoft did in the past. or Ubisoft is doing now. And I hate to keep bringing this comparison up of Ghost of Yotei and Assassin's Creed Shadows, but
It's a fair comparison.
is it though? Because Ghost is on that. It's fucking up there. Ghost of Tsushima, I still feel like is the best non-Assassin's Creed game I think I've ever played.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
So-
But that's the thing. Like, if you're Assassin's Creed and you finally want to go to Japan, I mean, you better come with everything you have, and
Yeah.
they did not. At least at this point, seemingly they have not.
I mean, I think it's kind of like what I mentioned earlier about like Astrobot is the best Nintendo game I've ever played.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, and this is the best Assassin's Creed game I've ever played, which is sad because it's not made by the people that made Assassin's Creed. You know, it's like, it's just so weird to see that, but like they were able to take that formula and then just do it so much better. And yeah, I just think I'm excited for this. One mention I saw in here that I thought was interesting is that, you know, Ghost of Tsushima came out before the PS5 came out. And it was about to come out. So like there was the upgraded version of it, but like that was built for the PS5 or PS4 and it was gorgeous, right? It was gorgeous and ran great and stuff like that. So this is the first iteration of the Ghost franchise that will be built from the ground up on PS5. So I'm really curious. I mean, it looks good, but like even still looking back to Ghost of Tsushima today, like still looks amazing. So it's like kind of interesting to see what kind of graphical enhancements they'll be able to do with this world to like wow us like even more than they were already able to do in the previous game with that new hardware.
I mean, they're wowing me right now just seeing the little subtle differences. Like I said, dual wielding the swords, possibly animal companion guns now. That's going to be an interesting take as well. Oh man, I am just, it's Goaty written all over it.
Yeah.
Like,
But then GTA 6 comes out next year too.
oh shit, dude.
I'm holding my reservations on this game, and yes, it looks phenomenal. I do want to get my hands on it. I mean, obviously, it screams Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, they're taking everything that they learned from that game, and just bringing it forward, making it better.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Do y'all think they're going to do a Legends multiplayer with this?
Sure. Why not? They should.
They should.
I think it'd be interesting.
I just feel like everything we've seen with Concord, the way things have been going, Outlaws, just like I was saying in the last segment, go watch it or listen to it. Just the way the industry is right now, I'm afraid that that's seeped into this game. And I hate that you see a female protagonist and you're like, oh, here we go again. Like, it didn't used to be like that back in the day. It's like, okay, cool. Like, let me see what's up. And here's a story. And obviously back in the day, stories weren't the best. It was more about gameplay. But it just sucks that I feel like that's where we're at right now. It's like, that's why I'm reserved, because I don't think I've played any good female-led protagonists. They've always been girl bosses or just badass from the get-go. There's one on top of my head that I feel like was actually good. Hopefully I think about it by the end of the segment. But that's my only reservation. You know, I want to give it to them. Obviously, they made an amazing game back with the last one, so I'm hoping for the best. I'm not just going to write it off automatically, but those are my reservations.
I mean, if there were female samurais back in the day, I don't know. I don't care. My only
The story will make or break it.
I think the story will go along with what's happening,
Yeah.
because they did so well with the first one. I don't think there's any box checking on this one. I think it's gonna flow with the story very well.
Yeah.
I
hope not.
Like I said, my only disappointment wasn't a continuation of Jin, but I had some time to think about it. I mean, Jin's story I feel like is done. There's still some stuff we should still see, and hopefully they come out with like a true Ghost of Tsushima 2, or it answers it in the movie that they're planning on coming out with. One of those two things. But what I don't want to see, and I hate to say this, I don't want to see any reference of Ghost of Tsushima in Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, I don't think they should.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
think there should be. I don't think
300 years
300
later?
years in, I want this to be its own
Its own thing.
own thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't want to see anything. I mean, maybe reading a scroll or something talking about there was a ghost back in the day, you know,
Yeah.
that did all this, and that's what inspired her to do what she wanted to do, but nothing else. I don't want her to be a descendant of fucking Jin or anything like that. I don't want any of that shit.
Yeah.
I want it to be its own thing.
Well, it could be true because they say here. So when asked like why not continue Jin's story, they wrote that we always want to continue to innovate, to create something fresh but familiar. We look beyond Jin Sakai's story and the island of Tsushima and shifted our focus to the idea of the ghost instead. At Sucker Punch, we love origin stories, and we wanted to explore what it could mean to have a new hero wearing a ghost mask and uncovering a new legend. This led us to the Ghost of Yotei, new protagonists, a new story to unfold, and a new region of Japan to explore, which I really appreciate that because, like, yes, they could have done a new Jin continuation, but that's a safe way to do it, right?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
I think it is.
I mean, look at Assassin's Creed trilogy. Like, yeah, Desmond was technically the main character, but you got to know Ezio, and like that became such a he said such a legend.
Well, I'm not saying that like you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that's the safer option to go with is to continue that story down. But the fact that they're making the conscious choice to not do that and instead start fresh and new, that's a much harder challenge.
Yeah.
And that to me is like they have a lot more. They financially, Jin's continuation story is the right way to do it. You're going to make more money that way, guaranteed. It's going to sell more. Ghost of Yotei, they have a lot harder challenge to fight for. And I think I commend them for taking that risk. And that's why I'm excited for this game, because that way would have been, yes, guaranteed sales, like win. But female protagonist, new story, new everything, that's a fucking risk beyond belief. And they're probably going to pull it off. And that's what I'm excited about. I think that's cool to see in an industry where we're consistently talking about repeating the same shit over and over and over again. They're not doing that. And I love that for this.
And then also, it's just like what they said. The ghost is the main thing. The ghost is the symbol. It's the whole Batman
That's the
complex
character. You know?
That's the character. So, like, for example, in the end of the Dark Knight Rises, where Bruce Wayne left, but there still has to be a Batman, that Robin guy took up the mantle. That's the symbol. Anyone can be Batman.
Right.
It's just a matter of keeping that symbol. And I think Ghost is I like that. I'm digging it.
If they came out with what we told for Jin is all we wanted to tell from him, then I'd be satisfied. That's because I just don't feel like that's it. Like
I think that's what it says, though. It's like
there's more.
Yeah. I mean, there's always more. There's always more story to tell. Anybody's story. You know, you can always say more about the story, you know. I mean, Breaking Bad, you know, at season 6, there was more they could have done with that story, but they were like, no, we're going to stop it here. We're going to finish it, not push it too far. Because you run that risk every time of like, you know, pushing a story too far into the ground where people get tired of it and it becomes a tired story and not like, you know, finished too early, you know?
Well, yeah, that's the video game industry currently.
Exactly.
But
that's why this is so cool, you know?
I've heard people be like, this is like, we're ending it here because this is all we need to tell of this. I can't remember which IP it was. But people have said that. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, if you're like, this is it, like, or we have a roadmap of 1, 2, 3, and then we're done because that's the whole story we want to tell. And there's like an actual arc, you know? Anyway, that's just my opinion.
My theory on what I could see, I mean, I like to your point, I think the movie continuation could be interesting.
It'd be nice.
I could also see them doing something where I know you say you don't want this, but like I could see there being little nuggets of like kind of nods to the past through like, you know, how we used to do the missions where you go write the poem or like do those different things. Like maybe you find his poems like scattered throughout this area that people have like saved from like, oh, this ghosts of years past. Like there could be something there, or like even on the Legends series, like the Legends was going back to the legends of past
Jin Sakai.
This could be like the Jin Sakai thing where it's like you get to then relive like maybe key moments of his history through a co-op experience maybe of some situation. Like that could be kind of interesting. So I could see them still maybe kind of harkening back a little bit.
Jin.
That's what I mean.
Well, Legends was.
Okay. Yeah.
In Legends, that was Jin. Yeah.
I thought those were like demons from
that's
the mythical
it
whatever.
was the story of Jin doing things in Tsushima because people thought he was like a demon ghost or whatever.
Oh, I see.
That's his myth because people thought it was fucking not possible to do that.
So something like that I think could be interesting to kind of if they want to harken back to that. But I mean I also see your point to like, you know, if they're gonna not continue his story, just like don't include it at all. I'll just be like,
Yeah, just-
this is a new
this
Ghost
is-
experience.
this is the
and
Ghost
let's run with that.
experience.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind the third one doing a whole different person again. It's
Yeah.
just like Red Dead, fucking new character, same game.
Yeah.
Well, not same game, but improvements. But yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but that's kind of like what are you talking about? Like 1 and 2? Are you talking about 2 and 3?
talking about of Red Dead.
Yeah.
There's only 2.
No. I'm thinking of the one before Red Dead.
Red Dead Revolver.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about
that one. Red Dead Revolver and Red Dead, they have mentions of Red Dead Revolver talking about him. Oh, the guy that I guess his name was Red. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There was around campfires and stuff, and
Yeah.
that was another folk tale that they were doing that they were talking about.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, I'm like fuck. I'm so goddamn happy. I'm excited. I'm ready to see some like gameplay and see what's changed, what's different, what's new, and hoping some of my predictions for like the sequel will be the improvements I was hoping for would happen. So.
Yeah, they did. They mentioned one of these articles I'm reading here. It says that players will have more control over her story, which could be taken as a hint that choices may be available at certain points of the plot. And then they have mention the firearms and stuff like that. But they want to. They said one challenge that comes with making an open world game is a repetitive nature of doing the same thing over and over again. We wanted to balance against that and find unique experiences. So they're going to be. That seems like a kind of a pillar of this new game is.
That's the reason why I feel like another good reason they didn't go with Jin is because they wanted to introduce that morality system in the first one, but they realized the story that they were telling, no matter what, he has to be the ghost in order to tell a good story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think with
definitely.
this one, they can really play around with it without tarnishing Jin's reputation if they brought Jin into it to have a morality system.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm shit.
Ghost of Yotei, man.
Ghost of Yotei. Right?
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, it's definitely hard. I want to reserve. I mean, kind of like you, Austin. It's like I do still want to reserve a little of excitement and expect because we've been burned in the past by a lot of games, and it's like I don't want to get
Spider-Man
too hyped
2.
on something. Yeah, and it's like I don't know. I want to make sure that we're getting the game that we wish
One last
we
point.
want it to be.
God of War, obviously, is probably my GOTY of all time.
Yep.
God of War Ragnarok, I enjoyed, had issues.
Yeah.
Come to find out, there's some stuff in there that I don't appreciate.
Porn.
Probably.
Spider-Man 1, amazing game. Awesome. We all loved it, highly acclaimed. Didn't get the recognition it needed because it came out when God of War came out. Spider-Man 2, complete flop. They put a lot of the similar things that I talk about in there and then some of the story towards the end just sucked. Just saying. It's possible that this could have similar issues. But if I had to choose between which game was going to be better, Shadows or this one, I would hands down pick this one, and
Yeah.
I'd rather play this one.
Yeah.
Choose the
Then
first one.
Shadows.
You'll choose Ghost of Tsushima. That's going to be better than
Oh yeah,
Shadows. Like,
100%. I think you've already convinced yourself that the first one's gonna be better. So yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, overall, the way that
Yeah.
things are told
Yeah.
story-wise and how things get mushed in and then people put their own, things on their mind
No.
in the game.
yeah,
I'm just trying to be very
Yeah.
neutral right now.
yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
I will say I
not trying to beat a dead
disagree.
horse.
I disagree that Spider-Man 2 was a flop. I think that was a really good game. It wasn't as good as the first one story-wise. I think everything about that game beyond the story was better than the first one. I just think that
Definitely.
the story
Gameplay
wasn't
was
as good. But yeah,
huge.
but I wouldn't go as far as saying it was a flop because I think that's Star Wars
I didn't
Outlaws for me.
say it was a flop.
You did say it was a flop.
Well, those my exact words?
Yes,
Okay.
you said Spider-Man 2 was a flop.
It was not very good, and it was not as good
as the first one.
as the first
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And those issues, I felt like showed. Go listen to our review.
Yeah,
We talked
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. But yes, I agree. There was definitely some lacking pieces of the story there that struggled a lot. I love God of War Ragnarok though. That was
Okay.
good. Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, Ghost of Yotei coming soon. Beyond that, real quick, I just want to run through some other things that happened in the State of Play in case you missed it. We got some new levels coming from Astrobot. Always exciting. Very cool. And then 10 new special boss to rescue, including your our friends, the Hell Divers. So that's really cool.
See, I need to get it now.
Hell yeah. They're remastering Horizon Zero Dawn. Don't know why, but they are. We have a release date of November 14th for Lego Horizon Adventures. We have new colors for the PS5, but they're only for the Slim Edition, which is stupid. We have the Lake House expansion.
House.
First look at what that is going to be, which centers around the Federal Bureau of Control, which is very exciting. Archage Chronicles looks pretty cool.
That
It's an
does look
RPG coming out next year. Another Dragon Age trailer, Dynasty Warrior Origins. Where was the other one that looked really nice?
Fortnite controller.
And whatever.
Hell is
Hell is
Us.
Us look really cool. That's a PS5 game that kind of feels Dark Souls-y, but then what was the other games that you mentioned? That you were like, this looks like a game that Brett would like. Well, we never figured out what the game was, did we? That Brett like, okay, never mind. But anyway, looks interesting. Has some cool. Oh, Once Human. That's what he
Once
said.
Human,
it looked like.
it looks like
It
Once
had a
Human.
style of Once
remnant
Human.
Style of it. A little bit better graphics.
Hitman's coming to PSVR 2. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Legacy of Kain is getting remastered.
Reaver.
And Lunar Remaster, Metro Awakening, a couple PSVR game. Much Hunter Wild's got another trailer. They just need to bring that game out.
Yeah, they just need to drop.
Oh man,
it
that's
already.
coming out 14 days after Assassin's Creed Shadows. I wonder what's going to do better.
I can't wait for that game.
Power World's on PS5.
Woo!
Stellar Blade is getting a Nier Automata. And the Midnight Walk. That was really cool looking.
Another PSVR 2 game.
Yeah, PSVR
Midnight
2.
Walk.
And PS5 though, which is good. I thought it was going to be a
That's
PSVR only, but that's good. It's PS5 too.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that's from the creators of Lost and Random.
Yeah, it looks like Tim Burton's work. It's very odd.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, and then that's just other things. The end. So state of play. But Ghost of Yotei, definitely the big
big
winner for
reveal.
that one. And yeah, let us know what you think about Ghost of Yotei in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you wanting to continue Jin's story? Or are you like, cool, I love a new character? And what else were you hyped about from the PlayStation announcement? Let us know in the comments below.